All right, Sam, let's look at a few quote unquote progressive tweets. And yeah, this time they're not all on Russia, Ukraine, but many of them are. And before, please like and also subscribe if you haven't. So, Sam, this first one was from Statista, and maybe actually this one could come in handy later when we're talking Russia, Ukraine, sanctions, oligarchs, even. So they wrote that, did you know the term oligarchs is of Greek origin? Okay, can be translated Durafio? Okay, thank you. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has heightened scrutiny of the country's ultra wealthy, who are astoundingly rich compared to the size of the Russian economy. So pretty much what it's saying, this graph is saying, is showing how percentage, what share of the country's GDP belongs to billionaires' wealth. And you get it? It took me a while to, okay, nice. You're smarter than me.
No, well, I looked at it longer. I guess I was, yeah.
But the graph isn't very damning for Russians, is it? I love how Sweden is like right there as
Same.
well.
It's
I mean,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
not
Russia
as of
was further
2022.
ahead, yeah.
Yeah, in
But as
22,
now,
as
so
of
it took
February.
a 5% hit, yeah.
What happened between March and February 2022? It's Russia suddenly jumped.
Or yeah, or maybe because they lost some, I don't know. Well, but Sweden is
Yeah.
right up there. The US is right up there. France, India, Switzerland, at least Canada,
And
Australia,
by the way, this is okay. I get it. I just read the subtitle: billionaires' wealth.
Mhm.
So, okay,
It's not even
like
oligarch.
because
I mean,
yeah, you could argue corporations in America are are far. You know what I mean? Like in Russia,
yeah.
it's a far more individually sort of based thing. But in America, you have like boards and or in
Yeah.
UK or that type of thing. So it's a bit of a it's not necessarily a very accurate picture
Yeah,
of
in that way
how
too.
concentrated your economy is.
So it could be more concentrated in the US or so in that case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
in what you're saying.
I mean, I mean, to be honest, I assume wherever there is more poverty, there is more concentration of wealth. I assume, but I would imagine it's about the same.
Yeah. Really. And man, and this kind of actually reminds me of the Matt Taibbi interview on Analysis News, and he lived in Russia all throughout the 90s. And I mean, this isn't too new, but he talked about the process of when the USSR went away. They were just like, okay,
we're not for parts.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, okay, we're not gonna sell it to foreigners, fine, but let's just find a bunch of guys in our country who are either rich or will make them rich and just give them the different parts of the economy to them, and let's move on, which is like a very liberal capitalist. I'm sure the US welcomed that. I mean, they would have. I mean, the US would have preferred if they could get the shares of those, of those things. But I guess the second best thing in their mindset is maybe, give it to some rich oligarchs.
Capitals within the country. But I must say, in a way, I mean, by the way, I think oligarchy, I mean, there's because when you read Greeks, they like some people supported democracy, some people supported like oligarchy. Xenophon, who I like, was I think largely supporter of oligarchy. I don't think it's like I don't necessarily support oligarchy or oppose it. I think oligarchy is the way, like at this stage of history we are in, it's just there is no other way to run nation states or anything. I believe everywhere is an oligarchy, rule of the few. Just the few might change.
I mean, as this graph supports empirically that point.
In a way,
this is not unique to Russia whatsoever. I mean, and they picked these countries, who knows, maybe if they would have picked Nigeria and like, I don't know, some other country, it would have been perhaps more even, who knows.
I mean, it's going by billionaires. So it's not going according to constant. Like I'm sure there may be nations where wealth is concentrated more, but they may be no billionaires or something. But it's the way like Russia privatized. I don't think it was even legal. Like when you have a state at that level, you can't. I mean, that's why meritocracy is a bit of a bullshit anyway. Because, for example, you have a company that is like you have an organization that basically has oversight over the wheat industry. You can't give that to the most. Like you have to give that to somebody you trust. This is a national security issue in many ways. Food
or national
reliability, yeah, when you nationalize it, well, then who do you put as the head of the national company? You can't just do a meritocracy and, oh, this guy, he has studied like abroad, he's like has the right qualification, he should come. No, you have to sometimes. That's most of corruption is not even. I mean, I'm not talking about petty corruption. Corruption at this level is about trust. You know, it's about serving. Trust and serving those who served you before, paying them back.
Yeah, I know.
So I think it should be looked like, that's how it should be.
I mean, it can be done in other ways within the realistic context. No, I'm just saying, you could nationalize a lot of these industries and then, the government runs it. That's who you trust. You trust the government trust itself. And I'm sure they nationalized some stuff. I'm sure they did.
I was more talking about like, okay, but there you can have corruption. Again, you can put your friends as the head of
the CEO or
the Ministry of blah blah. Ministry of blah.
I mean, that's
and if it's if it's privatized, as in the case of Russia, again, you can't allow industries like that. Even that's why privatization is basically a lie in many ways. You can't privatize goddamn telecom. It's not privatized. It's just you sold it to your friends who you trust. That's what, because you can't just hand that over to just
you're just finding so many industries that are pretty much run as if they're publicly owned, but just the money goes to like a few people. So my only point is that you can easily in the same exact I mean, it's realistic. I'm not saying something unrealistic, I think, which is that you can nationalize these things, and that doesn't solve all problems. I get what you're saying. It clearly doesn't solve all problems, but perhaps it can be better for more people if it's rather nationalized.
No, I am, but my point is that even when you privatize them, they are still in reality nationalized. Because you can't have goddamn
but the profit is going more to someone, whereas then maybe the government could pocket more of the profit and
maybe use but there has been loads of cases. Again, yes, and there has been many cases where government run shit has been as bad as I mean, I'm largely a leftist and Marxist, but
no, for sure. And there are a lot of things that the government runs in a lot of countries and they run pretty smoothly and well.
I've been told.
Okay, let's move on and not continue to. I think we're disagreeing, but I'm not. I don't think
sure. I was trying to make my point about that. It's a lie.
No, that was a good point, though. Honestly, not joking. I'm not being sarcastic.
This is not a petty sort of thing.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Steven Donziger. After representing Amazon indigenous peoples for 28 years, I just went to the halfway house in the Bronx to give another urine sample. The sample was put in the bag and sent to lab with 14 billion in annual revenue. For-profit shaming industry at work, 46 days to go.
Why does he have to give a urine sample?
Because I guess he's out, because he got out, he said, because of overcrowded, right? No, he's out on like house arrest kind of thing. I think he's serving the rest of his term.
So you shouldn't do drugs while you're on, like, that's really
I mean, that's one of the ways that they throw you back in jail. It's one of the easier ways, I guess, in the States and probably
that's really harsh, man. How do you supposed to go through life outside? Fuck that, man.
Hey, don't end up in jail.
I feel this guy, man.
For you.
By the way, this, can you imagine, like, nobody's, I mean, in the mainstream media, New York Times is not talking about the Steven Donziger, but they are publishing articles about people feeling uncomfortable in classrooms.
They are not publishing. Christ. They went and, I mean, the girl did pitch
the idea.
They were like, okay, we've seen the other stuff that you've written, so you look like you're on the right track.
This is our way of we don't want to talk about Donziger like that. No.
Exactly.
Wants to hear about that.
Okay, next one, Anna Kasparian. Oh my God, Anna, I'm so not jealous.
I'm interested.
She wrote, I'm so jealous of my friends in Brooklyn who get to go to this. If you haven't bought your tickets, you're crazy.
What is it?
It's a goddamn, I guess, like stand-up comedy / political show with Francesca Fiorentina and I believe, where's the chap? Sam Cedar and Majority Report.
Oh my God. This is awful.
I know. Are you really jealous? I mean, all of your friends going, honestly, I mean, even you. I know that these guys are your friends. Although Young Turks and Sam Cedar, they don't work much together, do they? Situation room.
Situation room.
I guess it's like, mixing pictures.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
But yeah, Sam Cedar and TYT, they never really hang out, do they?
Sometimes I
mean, Francesca does.
I don't know. No, Emma Wickland used to be from TYT.
So no, I'm talking about Sam himself specifically, because Francesca does.
I mean, like, again, who's pot calling the kettle black? But Sam Cedar and Francesca Fiorentini are not funny, and they don't have any insights. Like, one of them would be useful. Like, you have to have either be funny or have insights.
Francesca Fiorentini
provide neither.
I mean, she was more.
Who are the two other people?
I don't know.
Tiffany Caban, Matt Lee. I've heard of Matt Lieb, but I don't know where or how or why. But I have heard of it.
Let's move on.
But Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, no, I'm not.
The next one, though, that's a sad one. That's like, this how your life can change like that, kind of. In the span of 1 week, my TV show Redacted Tonight was canceled. This is Lee Camp. Because of sanctions. My podcast was deleted by Spotify, and my YouTube show is now banned across Europe. If you want to keep supporting my work, search for Lee Camp on Patreon.
Jesus Christ. I had no idea about his podcast and YouTube. Yeah. Again, people are feeling uncomfortable in classrooms. Camille, please, let's focus on real issues. Who cares about Lee Camp and him being banned in Europe and all that? Let's focus on people feeling uncomfortable when they say, like, want to say racist.
Yeah, I don't know. Sam is making reference to our previous segment where we discussed the funniest Bad Fate interview. So you have to go check that out. Glenn Greenwald. So Sam, I sent you this Reuters article, and I thought, it's not April Fool's. No, it's March. This is apparently real, and it's based on leaks, and Intercept reported it, and then Reuters, which it pretty much says, Glenn Greenwald, that's nice. Definitely grateful that we live in a society where Mark Zuckerberg and Google executives determine when we can advocate violence against certain people and when we can't. Seems healthy and democratic. I clicked on the Reuters article. It supported exactly what, I mean, even Glenn didn't even take it too far. I mean, there were internal.
Talk about this. So
we'll come back to it more properly.
We'll come back to it. Yeah. This was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was. Russians. Be racist towards them. It's okay. They are Russians. They don't have feelings. If you prick them, they don't feel.
Like Jesus. Yeah, this is. I mean, these Facebook and Facebook, they just seem like they've really like lost their touch. Like they can't do like one right thing, like you tell them to go left and they go right away into the wall on the right.
In trying to turn around, the car just flips over like 6 times.
They look like just completely lost, even like in the mainstream kind of world
I just hope, I'm not very I don't think it's very likely, but why doesn't Instagram and fucking WhatsApp get hit? Like, why doesn't WhatsApp WhatsApp must be destroyed.
Man, and you mentioned it. I mean, they just have all these contracts against, and WhatsApp has actually deteriorated, at least for me. I downloaded a new version, and on my computer, it doesn't allow me to send to myself now. For some reason, I don't show up in my WhatsApp things, which
you have to save your.
No, I have done all that, but I've been doing this for years. I've been saved as a contact, and it shows up on my phone. But now it stopped showing up on the computer application.
Jesus Christ!
Maybe that's me. God. I don't know. But they just like regress.
They keep regressing, and it's the worst UI. It's the worst UX, and Instagram. Instagram is not filtered in Iran. You want to upload a video on Instagram, it takes you like 10 hours, and then sorry, something went wrong, blah, blah. Oh, fuck off. Like, and then YouTube is filtered like that. You upload. It's fuck off. Like, really, I can't wait for Facebook to get destroyed. I really
you're right. So like on Instagram, surprised I have to do a little bit of Instagram for my university and work and stuff. And like, even like a little photo, like a little video, sometimes takes like a minute, and I mean like it's something that usually takes like 2 seconds based on the speed that you're used to. So
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, back then I guess Facebook were a bit smarter. They went and bought Instagram and WhatsApp, which is probably the best thing they've done ever.
business decision.
Yeah.
Was it?
But now I think, now they would go.
I must say
I feel like now if
Instagram.
they try, they go buy like
Like
something shitty.
whoever invented Instagram, though, I really want to again, like Jesus, like fuck you. You destroyed my, because before that at least you could goddamn share a trailer or a video. Now it's because Facebook basically has become populated by racist geriatrics.
Yeah, racist geriatrics, not young ones.
Not young young ones are on Instagram. Yeah. And then Instagram, all these mostly these idiots about doing their body stuff, and then a picture of foods, and Jesus Christ!
Don't hate on the food pictures, though.
Yeah. I hate the food pictures. I hate everything. And it's like TV, man. I need widescreen. If I want to watch it. Sorry.
I mean,
this
I never
watch
anything long on Instagram, though. That's kind of
me too. I can't. Yeah. It gets annoying. But a lot of good content, comedy content is being produced, and I miss out on them.
Oh my God, and I keep on wanting to tell you who are these genius, like amazing independent actors all over the places who are just absolutely hilarious, and they do like these sketches and these characters. There are a few of them that are just surreal how good they are.
I sent you, do you remember I sent you that kid who does geography, and he does these funny, like he tells you about basically, he tells you about like animals, usually like hardcore like animals like alligators.
I have a point
he's
about that.
So funny, man. If maybe we try to put a picture of him. It's so funny. He's like I hate biology and all nature programs and all that, but this guy, I just can't stop laughing. He talks about the relationships and all that. It's so good. But I'm missing out because Instagram is shit. And do you want to keep watching? Yes, I click. Oh, God damn it. I hate you, Instagram.
But man, thank God for like this kid and other people, because this whole like animal documentary industry really needs like a revolution or something. Yeah. Like the other day, again on TV, one of these nature shows came on, amazing quality camera, but the exact same one, I was like, I'm sure I saw this lion in the 90s. Is this the same guy? Like,
is this the same footage? This is just enhanced the same. God. David, are you lying? David Atom.
They need a little.
I must say,
tweaking of their,
of
their style.
About 10 years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, when Blue Planet was at its height of popularity, and my dad, everybody bought the DVDs.
But that's also just a good version of like the same thing that they always do. So this one they just
and even that though, that is like after a while you're like it's a very nice screensaver. Like truly, like it's so boring. Then you need to add a panache.
But they've done it on Instagram and stuff. They've done it. There's these people who go and show you these lizards and shit, or like lions and all of them. They're crazy.
The way they he explains it's just so fun, and he keeps referencing Trump or something. It's just funny. It's good.
Yeah.
So you can't just go. You can't do that, David. And now the deer moves to his autumn residence. Oh,
so I know that deer. I swear to God.
This is it. This is the same deer when I was a kid.
I swear that's how similar their shit is. But okay, Sam, let's wrap this up with one last tweet. I mean, I'm not a huge Ben Norton fan too much. Not that I know his work a lot, but this has to be his best tweet.
Yeah, that's a funny
So New York Post, I haven't read the article, but they wrote 1 in 5 people, and I believe this, considering OnlyFans to afford living in New York City as rents skyrocket. And Ben wrote, what stage of capitalism is this? That's kind of funny.
OnlyFans. But New York Post is the equivalent of Daily Mail and shit. So I wouldn't put too much.
But man, Sam, this makes sense to me. Do you know about this OnlyFans world?
It's ladies doing webcams, sexy shows.
Mainly,
am I right?
Yeah, mainly it's ladies. But
or guys. I'm sure there are guys as well.
And it's just Instagram, but private. And, you have to pay a subscription to get the channel. And they never even put a little preview. So immediately you usually have to subscribe. And then, there are all kinds of different ones where people do different kind of
pictures of
things. not until you subscribe really. And yeah, and you
So
saw that OnlyFans wanted to
yeah.
move away from this business model. And do you remember that?
Why?
And then they changed their mind like 2 days later. They were gonna ban like all like these kind of like, you know,
Who
soft
was banned?
OnlyFans themselves. They were like, yeah, we're gonna change
Oh,
and we're
all
not
right.
gonna allow soft porn and stuff anymore. But then 2 days later they realized, well,
that's
no,
90% of our industry.
otherwise you just go on YouTube and you watch other stuff. Like there's a
Okay,
reason
guys,
it's called
sorry.
OnlyFans.
Okay, guys, you're reminds me of Monty Python. You know, their bit in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where they attack the French castle and then they start throwing everything like a cow and they keep throwing shit and then they go, run away, run away, run away, just immediately, run away, just immediately backtracking.
No,
So
I've
yeah,
seen that
makes
much.
it.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing I think happened with OnlyFans like a few months ago. They were like,
Jesus, all right.
fucking. But yeah, good tweet by Ben Norton. It was a funny one.
Yeah.